good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. We've got some we got another Sanrio collab apparently. With some pretty good skins. As you might expect. The last one had what? The last one had the Suzerain skin. I remember that one. Who else? Oh yeah, Mr. Lee's skin. Right. How could I forget? Mr. Lee, our man. Now we've got an Aya Fiala, which is very fitting. She is a Sanrio girl. She really is. Picture's kind of blurry for some reason. A Lumen skin. Which is pretty nice. I do like it. I'd get it. Does Lumen have any other skin? I can't remember. Oh yeah, he's got a like fancy, a very fluffy colored, like sailor kind of outfit thing. I do like this Sanrio skin more. And a Federico skin with, I guess, his child version alongside himself. Similar to the passenger one. Also nice, like everyday wear. It's good everyday wear. Very good. You think his child's always in it? Were they in another one? I don't remember. But good stuff though. I'd buy them. Bought the other ones. Who was it? Was it only two last time? Suzerain, Lee. Is there a third person? No, it wasn't Suzerain. I'm mixing up Suzerain's skin that was for the collab with that comic about the cat Spirit. That's not Sanrio. That was that comic. The Sanrio collab was Golden Glow, Lee, and You Official, everyone's favorite streamer. Yeah, I don't think I bought the Golden Glow one. And so I forgot. This one's very Sanrio. Yeah, I like the new ones. The new ones are like they're everyday wear, but still got the mascots in there, I guess. That was the Golden Glow. Good stuff, though. Day three of the travels, the masses travels. I don't know why I want to say the travels masses, but I do every time. Starting with a interlude. Probably have to cut this into a 4th day event, but we might also go a bit longer depending on how it's going to pan out today. Quabam. I don't know why switching scenes on OBS shows the old chat's messages. I feel like OBS broke on me the other day with the resetting of that, and now like the chat messages are also like maintaining between scenes or something. I don't know what happened. I think I have to refresh. Yeah, it's missing a setting there. That should work. Nope, now it played it again. 3 minutes of fame. But it should be fine now. We'll see. The clear empty 5. After some discussion, we decided to reference Vanini's mother's patient firearm in the construction of this one, but we found keeping it to this standard to have major flaws. We will need to make further adjustments. Thank you for looking after my mother's patron firearm, Magister. Client's friend was very satisfied after seeing the plans. Remaining details of the manufacturer can be left to the gunsmith's discretion. I suppose that's how geniuses think, Senor Paganini. B6. So, what happened last time? Exia recruits Vanini, the former apprentice of Pagini, to help her make some bombs to damage the Shrine of Nurtury in order to stall its use in the Summit of Nations. But after infiltrating the Shrine of Nursery to plant the bombs, Exia discovers that it's actually full of people, even though it was not supposed to be full of people. And she doesn't want to hurt anyone, so she plans to disarm them, but then her sister finds her. And she and Exia says a code phrase that they had created when they needed to confirm with each other that something was wrong. So it's a way to tell Lemuin that, yeah, something's wrong, but like, you can't talk about it. Largely because reality has been altered in some way. And then she has Lemuin disarm the bombs for her, and she leaves the shrine. At the same time, the shrine was briefly infiltrated by the Pathfinders, Anduin's former group of followers, who tried to capture him, but they got intercepted by the guards in the shrine. So then they tried to capture him outside the shrine, but got stopped by Fiammetta and Ostema. But the Pathfinders are not, like Exia, they are not affected by whatever's happening in Laterano. It doesn't seem that Anduin is waking up, per se. He seems like he's still pretty firmly ensorcelled. But who aren't ensorcelled are Federico and Arturia, whom have both started to realize something's wrong. Federico seems to have just always known. Arturia, I think it was implied that Arturia realized something was wrong when she was playing her music and it locked onto the Sarkaz woman who's pregnant inside the shrine. And that, like, I guess triggered something for her. At least that's how it seemed to me, was the interpretation of that. So she Arturia left the farm, and Federico went after her, and they found her, and they had their conversation of like, hey, we both know like something's up here. Hildegard's also along, and Hildegard is like now wrapped up in this, although she's still confused by the fact that something is wrong. But you've arrived at the day of the nativity. Something's going to be born. All the people of the Summit of Nations have arrived, apparently. They've said so as much. We've not seen anyone, mind you. They've not shown them, but apparently Wishdell and the Empresses, or an Empress, or something are there. But I really don't know if they're actually there or not. I'm not sure. I've never seen them. And feel like maybe they aren't truly there and it's just like an altered reality version of them or something. I don't know. They also said that Wishdell's like really nice. She's been magnanimous, so like I feel like maybe it isn't actually her. The Matriarch and Patrician and Velive are also a bit suspicious of Lemuin, even though Lemuin's not really done anything suspicious per se, but she's part of the 7th Tribunal and she went to the shrine to talk about security. And they're like, well, she's asking too many questions. We have to keep an eye on her. So it seems like the 3 main people in on whatever's happening are the Matriarch, Patrician, and Velive. And I guess technically Anduin, but he seems like he's just kind of a victim of it more so, but technically he's... because he apparently, at least in this version of the reality, he came with the Matriarch. Whether or not Velive or Patrician are aware of what's happening and are instigators of it, or are just also wrapped up in it, I'm not sure. But they're pretty... they seem like they're kind of in charge of things that are happening. So. And that is what happened last time. Enlightenment. A new life, a new faith, a new future. Wait a moment, Senor Executor. So you have never intended to bring back Arturia to Landon Monastery? I never stated that I would. Well, if you won't, I will. There are certain things I must still ascertain with Arturia. Now, Federico. It won't do to torment a poor nun like that. This guy. Those guys. Some goons. Rochelle. Did you have to run away so suddenly? All I did was joke around with you a little in front of that confessional. What was the joke? Oh, okay. Anyway, I know this fugitive's a tough one, so I brought reinforcements. Give up my chance to witness the nativity in the process. Aren't you touched? I never requested assistance from the notarial hull. I know. You hardly ever work with the other executors. You think I volunteered for this? Special orders jointly issued by all 7 tribunals of the Curia. Pretty shocked when I got the orders. For a moment there, I thought Arturia had convinced you to commit treason. Huh? I have no such intention, and she has no such power. I have completed my assessment and determined that any risk to the Curia can be eliminated. You and your men may stand down now, Executor Rochelle. Are you defying the special orders, Federico? You have no authority to refuse. My orders were to oversee Federico's apprehension of Arturia before the nativity, and to bring you both in, should there be any suspicious behavior. Not so fast, Senor Executor. Were you talking to me, Senora Arturia? Of course. I've been sitting in that monastery ever since I got back. I think I would like to stretch my legs for a while longer still. It's been more than a decade since I last saw nightfall upon the holy city. The view from this spot is remarkable. So you're resisting arrest? Oh, I do hate overtime. Stay behind us, Sister Hildegard. You do the honors, Federico. You've been on this criminal's case for years. No one knows her tricks better than you. Looks like the Lateran has long has its eyes on you, Fede. Raise your gun. It won't be the last time. Arturia stands at the edge of the roof. Federico has many questions, but he can see that her fingers are already touching the strings. Behind her, Federico sees the Shrine of Nurtury, so tall he cannot see the top, and the infinite crowd meandering towards it. Rochelle and his other colleagues stand behind him. Federico hears the sound of the weapons being locked and loaded. Tension runs high. It is as though he must prove something as executor. There is no time to think. Federico raises his gun. You have admitted to escaping confinement, Arturia. By the authority of the Lateran Notarial Hall, I am hereby reassessing your danger level and apprehension procedures. You must fulfill your obligations as a Lateran citizen and work with us to resolve any threat to Laterano. Without warning, the muzzle of Federico's gun flashes. At the same time, music pours out of the cello, becoming one with the hymns emanating from the direction of the Shrine of Nurtury, drowning out the sounds on the roof. Crush them all. Federico, what are you doing? I shot at the building beside you. I did not strike any of you. But that hurts, Mastagia. Oh, I think a rock hit my head. Huh? Am I bleeding? Mastagia, that's a new one. Scoundrel, I think, is what it means. It also has something to do with jellyfish, which is the first thing that pops up, but I think it means scoundrel. Do you know what you've done, Federico? Yes, you are bleeding. I will submit a detailed report once the incident is resolved. I will include a detailed explanation of the head injury you have suffered. That was decisive, Senor Executor. Now, how do you intend to handle all these unconscious people? What are you looking for? Rochelle has an annual pass for the confessionals. They can deliver these people to a hospital. Now share your discoveries and work with me to resolve any dangers to Lauderano. It's just a guess. You chased me all the way here, then got your cohorts out of the way. You've evidently arrived at the same theory I have. It's almost time, Fede. Perhaps the city itself will soon tell us exactly what has happened to it. Never seen so many outsiders in Lauderano. That's for sure. The last Summit of Nations didn't have enough guests to fill a single hotel. Just about every cardinal in the Curia is here. It's so crowded. The air is even more awkward than the Basilica. We're far enough on the edge, Mastema. We're like the cleaner standing against the wall of a casino. Whatever this nativity is, it's probably Anduin bringing up out a Sancta kid who just learned to talk. So the matriarch standing there gets to ceremonially polish the kid's halo. All symbolic puff. We could be home watching One-Armed Chainsaw Guy 2 instead. Classic movie. Let's just think of it as watching Nurture Anduin work. Haven't you already said that all that needs to be said to him? My heart's been feeling twitchy for some reason. Do you feel it, Mastema? Yeah. Fiametta turned sideways. She has never seen such a serious expression on her friend's face. I'm feeling nervous. No, anxious, fearful. It's excitement and expectation, and I don't know why. I can't describe it. It's like my heartbeat isn't my own. Is this empathy? You're a fallen angel and I'm a Liberi. Neither of us has the power. No, it's not just us. Yeah, they wanna do the Lauderin world conquest story. Fiametta scans the crowd and is now certain that this heartbeat is not an illusion. The emotions that she is feeling are written on every face in the crowd. Every heart present throbs to this beat. She does not belong to them, or which does not belong to them. Look up. What? Comfort bells. Fiametta follows her friend's gaze. All the doors and windows were closed when the nativity began, not so much as a breeze can get in. But the comfort bells are swaying in time, the ones hanging in the Hall of Enlightenment with them, and the ones in the corridors leading to the nurseries, yet they do not produce the chimes that they should. A sort of medium, like the musical devices that Latanians use. My guess is right, we're feeling the heartbeat of the mother who's giving birth. Weird. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same as what I felt when I wanted outside the delivery room when my wife gave birth. I could feel the unfathomable pain. She would not give up. Our emotions tugged at mine, and we both spoke to say that we already decided. Bailey. Lord above, the mother fainted. She's too weak. The pain of birthing is more than she can take. It's not good. My heart's about to leap out of my mouth. She's not giving up. Lord, holy city most pure, have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. So this really is a form of empathy. Comfort bells sway violently throughout the hall. The ever-shifting emotions and the irregular heartbeats tug at everyone's nerves. No one knows who the mother is, what her name is, how old she is, where she came from. Not everyone knows what she's experiencing. But everyone knows what she's experiencing. No one moves a single step. The fragile newborn has not yet triumphed over death. The struggle to break through the shell of ignorance seems eternal. Inside the Shrine of Nursery, thousands of people experience a childbirth together. Weird. Such clear empathy should never have existed in Laterano. After a long, long time, the heartbeat begins to weaken until all is silent. This is a weird one. Connect the sensor wire, activate the timer. The last bomb is ready. Weren't you disarming them? Damn it. It's really hard not to march to this heartbeat. Fortunately, I've got the quickest brain in penguin logistics. I could play Super Music Tycoon with one hand and ray gun bolt shooting with the other, and beat both the bosses and Texas at the same time. All that practice wasn't for nothing. Two-minute countdown. Blow up this corridor, and the path to the nursery will be cut off. I hope my sister's intel is good. The Shrine of Nursery took a pregnant Sarkaz from a nomadic abbey and got her to give birth to a Sarkaz at the Summit of Nations in this crazy ceremony. I don't know what they're trying to do, but if I can keep her from appearing in front of the crowd... Excuse me, you're in the way. The mother is about to give birth. I want to get closer and pray for her. Sorry, Al. Wait. Pregnant Sarkaz, aren't you the one? Yeah, what of it? Huh? Shouldn't you be giving birth? Huh. They've been implying that it's a pregnant Sarkaz, which is interesting. The thing is, though, that I did say yesterday, I'm pretty sure, that like it's weird that it would be this Sarkaz they just brought to Laterano when they had been preparing this thing for a while. Unless it was like all big plan, but still feel like a weird coincidence. So yeah, something. It's not her then. They're still the matriarch, I guess. You got horns. But they've called her a Sancta. Lemuel, right? We've met before. Your sister brought you to our place. He met his grandpa, Salve. The others are searching for the bombs and neutralizing them, Reverend Petrosian. Good work. Now this Sancta, she has more explosives on her. Snipers are in position. We will shoot to kill if the suspect attempts to escape. Ew. Reverend Patrician. You're late, Cardinal Lemuin. Take the suspect back to the 7th Tribunal. But if the nativity isn't about the sarcasm, then... The heartbeat that resonated throughout the hall has quieted down. A door opens to a corridor. Exia looks in the direction of the sound. Carrying a small bundle, the nurturer stands in a light shining through the door. His hands and robes are stained with blood, but the bundle is clean. With head bowed, he walks slowly toward the Hall of Enlightenment, towards the waiting matriarch. The crowd waits to let him through. Thank you, Anduin. The matriarch takes the newborn from the nurturer. She cannot see and does not realize that his brow is furrowed in sorrow. The matriarch gently opens the bundle and reveals the newborn. Is that a bird? A fledgling beast. They just make us a beast lord? What is happening? He leans against the matriarch's shoulder, mucous membrane still sticking to its infantile paws. The wet and creased fur shows no sign of relaxing. His eyes are closed, his breathing barely audible. As you can see, the first life that the Shrine of Nurtury has brought into this world is this fledgling arbor beast. His weight is nothing. His weight is everything. Before I came to Laterano, I found his mother in an abandoned nomadic abbey. She was so famished, her feathers fallen, that I did not at first recognize her as an arbor beast. A hunter's spear has impaled the mother's abdomen, but missed the fetus by inches. I did not know how this mother hid for so long, how she survived and how she stayed awake through the pain and hunger. Until now, I thank this strong mother, our Sancta and Liberi brethren, and our honored guests from afar. This child was born amidst our prayers. He is a miracle that you have made together. But why? Yeah, why? Why do his eyes not open? No. Well. It's just an animal? But then why was everyone thinking about a sarcasm? This is so weird. Matriarch, the newborn's breathing is growing weaker. Tried everything I could think of. His mother gave her all. Perhaps the mother's injuries were too grave, depriving the fetus of nutrition. Anduin, we may all have forgotten one thing. Do you mean? The childbirth was long and painful, but from the beginning to end, we all felt through the comfort bells, through empathy. It was a single heartbeat. This child was so weak that he could not even express his desire to live, the most primal, most instinctive cry of life. Anduin bows his head and does not speak. Is this what you thought the nativity would be, Mastama? No. Normally, we'd have already be cutting a cake beside a crying baby. Damn, this is depressing. Do they mean that after all that effort from the mother, the baby was stillborn? Che Kazo, how could this be? Lord above. Is there anything we can do? Like what we just did now, the thousands of us here. What if I never left? What if I never felt Haley's heartbeat after hours of waiting outside the living room? What would my wife and I have done? Oh, I can't bear to imagine it. Poor baby, if you could hear my voice. New animal drop though, Arbor Beast, huh? That's cool. Somewhere in the crowd, someone begins sobbing. Gradually, more and more people lose control of their emotions. Their cries join together and echo through the halls for the poor mother and her stillborn child. What? Then another cry rings out. It is not a sad sound, it is a young and bright. The fledgling arbor beast opens its eyes, and as though sensing the emotions of the crowd, cries out for the first time in its life. It stretches its limbs, and the sheen miraculously returns to its fur. The matriarch embraces the newborn life tightly, crying tears of joy. One such tear drops from the empty eye sockets behind her veil, falling upon the fledgling's head, reflecting the light of the sun. The fledgling does not stop crying. As though driven by the wailing, the light begins to break free of the void shackles, becoming rich and full. A halo. The mark of the Sancta, the symbol of the law, the embodiment of truth that has illuminated this unfamiliar creature. A shining, miraculous beacon. The Lord has once again answered our prayer. He has blessed this child. This is a miracle not seen in 1,000 years. Its appearance on the eve of calamity is a revelation from the law. We are all witnesses. We are all participants. Henceforth, we are born equal in one, beginning with the holy city and ending with the holy city. As Sancta. In the matriarch's embrace, the newborn licks her arms. He has awakened. Once again, the comfort bells sway. A new heartbeat, strong and regular, fills the shrine of nurtury. I mean, that's crazy, but it does fit with my idea of, like, yeah, they want to turn everyone into Sancta, I guess. Including animals? Like how they just, I like how these two just somehow know what's happening. Laterano granted a halo to an arbor beast fledgling. Even the most incredible miracle in the saint's travels pales in comparison. Is this a divine blessing or a terrible calamity? The music would imply calamity. My greater concern is whether it is true, whether it should be believed. Since when did you start doubting everything you see? There are too many details, Arturia. The unusual confessional. The boundless wheat fields. The crackdown on the manufacturing of firearms and explosives, the firearms workshops being shut down. The sudden change in Leyden Monastery's role. The abrupt changes in the administration of the Curia, the colleagues who suddenly appeared to interfere with my investigation. It was the appearance of Rochelle and his men, despite the fact that he should not have known my movements, that confirmed my suspicions. Otherwise, I would have continued my efforts to apprehend you. All of these anomalies converge at this shrine of nurtury, which seems to have appeared out of nowhere, and the nativity that so many have fixed their eyes on. The missing mother you were investigating from the nomadic Abbey, was the pregnant arbor beast. Yes. By chance, My music crossed paths with the voice of her heart. I followed the trail here. But what about the sarcasm? You asked about a sarcasm. The singular item that brought me to my conclusion, of greater weight than any of the above, is how the Lotaran people are seemingly oblivious to all of this. Everything in life has been turned upside down, but in this country, this city, life goes on orderly as ever, as though things have always been so. When 6 million Lotarans continue to live as they always have, it's hard for us to convince ourselves that we're the only sane ones. Self-doubt is an invaluable experience for a hardhead like you, isn't it? Are you certain now? Yes. Mathematics, physics, geography, archaeology, astronomy, no theory or knowledge in science, theology, or philosophy can explain this. A city with a population of 6 million sharing the same hallucination. But the present circumstances clearly run contrary to the order of Lotarano and the foundation of the law. I have no doubt. What a coincidence. Neither do I. The Negaverse. The sound of comfort bells echoes in the sky above the city. The cello's music draws upon a crack, like a hand reaching into the city. The next instant, both sounds are brought to an abrupt halt. Silence. The crowds that come and go in front of the square have never existed. Lotarano has never been so quiet, even when the city is gazed upon from the highest roof of the basilica. Federico and Arturia are unsure if they blinked. A scene most incomprehensible plays out before their eyes. The shrine continues to tower over the city, utterly out of place, but now dreamlike colors begin to run across its surface. Almost reaching the clouds, it spills its colors upon the pristine white buildings surrounding it. Doors and windows open to the streets and alleys of Lotarano. Wherever the shrouding shadow touches, the creatures the likes of which have never been seen before emerge from them. The scene is indescribable, but there is no doubt in Federico or Arturia that this is the real Lotarano. The next instant, the same word slips from their mouths. Calamity. Creatures? What the heck happened? Man, the 12th century sucks. Everything was fine. Whatever this date was, we don't actually know what date it is. I think they said it's 2 years from the first Summit of Nations. So I think it's like it should be 1101, I think, because Zoning Stream was 1100, and that was after the Summit of Nations. I think it's 1101. I don't think it's demons. I don't think this is very demon modus operandi. So some other force? It makes me think that we know that like the crowds disappeared, so like a lot of it's illusion, I guess. I don't think it's actually an arbor beast, right? Like it feels weird that it's just a bird becoming a sancta. Like it feels like it's actually something else, but everyone is perceiving it as an arbor beast. I thought, first of all, that the Sarkaz lady was going to give birth to something strange, right? And Arturia was apparently asking about a Sarkaz, but then she's like, no, it was an arbor beast. And Exia thought it was a Sarkaz, and I think other people thought it was a Sarkaz. But it was just a bird. Which makes more sense in the terms of planning. Like, it's obvious, like, it wasn't the Sarkaz woman they just picked up, but I don't think it was just an arbor beast. Maybe it's just a creature, some creature they're giving, they created for some reason, whoever these people are even. This happened very fast, which I guess is the point. Like that's even what they're saying. The characters in there are like, yeah, this kind of just came out of nowhere. It just kind of happened. Communion. May our halos be shared. May our Lord share the blessings with all. Meanwhile, back in Kasdal. Slow down. You got a death wish or something? We're carrying a damned oranginium plate. We're all dead if you drop it. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with this family using this as a pickling stone? Do they like their pickles with a touch of oranginium? Shut your sarcastic expletive mouth and keep moving. We gotta clear this whole district before the end of the day unless you want the overseer to chew our heads off after the lich chews his. So many houses, and we gotta clean every single speck of oranginium off them. Doesn't Babel have a dedicated construction team? Why we just tear it all down and rebuild from scratch. Dang, what's it gonna take them getting used to not having any oranginium around? I said shut your sarcasm expletive mouth. We didn't have a choice but to rely on the mines. Now that Castle doesn't need to worry about energy anymore, of course we got a clean house. Unless you like living in a den of oranginium. Hey, watch where you're going, Lich. Keep your head tucked away, Lich. Who knows what might happen if they get tied up in the oranginium. Well, that's nice that they're cleaning up the city. That's not very polite. This, yep, I knew it. I mean, there's only 2 Lich characters. You can cut these threads with your horns if they do get tied up. But who knows what dimension my thread will drag you into if it comes to that. Alright, I don't think I should scare you any further, gentlemen. Go ahead. Did I imagine it? What's that light? It came from the house up there, maybe. Let's take a look. I'll go. What? Those houses are right by the agricultural plate that has just been integrated. The light must be from one of the soil beacons in the reaction to the oranginium plate that they are carrying. If Wishadel finds out the farmland that she spent 2 years cultivating got polluted... Alright, let's get out of here. I'm glad that, okay, so we're getting back to, like, what's happening outside of Laterano with all the fallen angels. Is it happening at the same time? Did all the angels fall when the Arbor Beast got its halo and was born? Is that the connection? I would assume so. Don't come any closer. Ugh. Ermengarde looks at the agitated girl standing in front of her, trying to shield the man behind her with her tiny body. It's a Sancta man, kneeling feebly on the ground. His halo and wings have shattered, their pieces still trembling and flickering like dying fireflies. The Sancta does not speak. It is as though he has fallen into a deep slumber. Who are you? Are you here to take us away? The girl is all tensed up. Ermengarde bends down and puts her hands on her knees, doing her best to show that she intends no harm, even wagging her energized tail friendly. She has a tail? Liches have tails? Huh. That's news to me. I mean your arm, young lady. I've sent the other suckers away. Did you hear that? Maybe I can help him. Ermengarde closes the door behind her, shutting out any prying eyes. She adjusts her hat. Invisible threads reach out through an unknowable dimension. Master. Oh, that red tape and long-winded tomes in the spines made me sick. But I should thank the twin sheep for their hospitality, compared to what I have to deal with now. Every policy has to be communicated verbally, and you have to explain things over and over again. When are we going to implement basic education for the government employees? This is urgent. Go ahead. I am at the furnace node. I found 2 Sanctas with broken halos. One of them doesn't look right at all. Bring them here. Try not to let anyone see you. We don't need a scene in the streets. Now go wake Wishadel. Looks like it's time for our speaker to speak at an emergency meeting. Meanwhile, in Latanya... Avigananda is back, apparently. Okay. She's alive? Didn't you get trapped in the Witch King's dimension? I thought she was the one that escaped. Was it Grimnock? I thought Grimnock was the one that escaped. I could be wrong about that. I'm just gonna confirm at this point. Oh, it was the other one. Okay. Okay. Whose name is also Hildegard, actually. Now, that's got two Hildegards. I swore it was I swore it was a Vigananda, but that's okay. I was wrong. It was Hildegard. Now earlier when they were talking about the Empresses, maybe that would make more sense. But they were talking about Grimnock showing up, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. See, the awkward thing is that I remember Grimnock's voice, but I don't remember Aviganada's voice. I can pull it up quickly. He says that the video didn't freeze. Alright. The list is a long one. You're saying that all 43 Sanctas stationed at spires across Zwillingsturma have abandoned their posts without permission? Freaking Michael! Yes, Vigananda. They have already left Latanian soil, forcing their way through the checkpoint at the Erdenher border. Tanya took in those errari as an act of kindness, and how they have chosen desertion without any warning. Not entirely. The night watch of the Rijksmusikhochschule witnessed a Sancta Scholar leaving. I noted that his halo and wings were shattered, as if there was a serious accident. A fallen? The symptoms do not align exactly. How do you think this should be dealt with? Are you asking for my opinion? Of course I am. You are the mouth of the Ulster Authority, Michael Wolfgang. You are the only one who can speak with her voice in this realm besides me. Well, you have grown in the past few years, both physically and mentally. He doesn't look like he's grown physically. Hildegard has taught you well. I must commend you for making the report, as you just did. You have, in effect, admitted that you have access to certain exceptional channels. The Sanctas of Latanya have fallen and deserted en masse. This is a serious matter. You are the only one capable of dealing with it, Vigananda. I know that the Urzika boy, and even the Grafshan, are doing a few things under the surface. As a reward, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to that. Now, back to the topic at hand. The border guard reports that they seem to be heading for Laterano. Likely that the Lateran Curia is involved. Shall we send the Empress's voice to confront the Curia? One year ago, after Das Kaiserenfests, the Evangelist VI communicated to me that he wishes to work hand in hand with Laetania. The anomalous circumstances of the Sanctas may indicate that the calamity the Pope had feared so much that he would seek our help has come at last. Issue an edict in the name of the eternal grace and austere authority to summon the best casters and scholars among all the spires. Calamity will spare no corner of this great land. We must hasten our studies into the secrets retrieved from the chaos. Yes, Your Majesty. I will arrange for it at once. Perhaps not entirely at once. What I mean is, I will instruct the Empress's voice too. The eventide is beautiful tonight, Michael. Stay and enjoy it with me. The wound in the sky is healed. She would have appreciated this too. Would she not? The star bubble's closed already. Guess it's been a few years. East of La Unidad, Laterano, Holy City of White. The guns there shoot fireworks that targets all apples. When we pray sincere, he gives us bread. When we seek salvation, he sets us free.
Sing until you're asleep. The god in your dreams is kinder than Laterano's.
You needn't go this far on the night watch, Aurelia.
Get lost. This is the Minoan border. Those Singas nobles won't go any further. You're safe. The Abbey is no more. We go our separate ways.
10 years ago, you came to my abbey and protected my plate from those nobles without a word. Now you're leaving without a word.
You preach your teachings. I protected the kids in exchange for a new roof over my head. That's all. Don't think so too much of yourself.
You can't leave, Aurelia. I'm not asking. Our destination is the same. We'll go with you to Laterano.
And when did I say I was bringing you with me?
We've been together for 10 years. It's a long time for a Kuukulakan. Maybe I don't trust Laterano that much, but I do trust you. The Lateran stripped you of citizenship, and you've cursed that city many times when I sang the hymns. But I look at yourself, after all of these years in Bolivar, you still won't take off that gun knight's armor. Even though you've fallen, lost the ability to wield a patron firearm, you somehow got your hands on this black steel gun, which means you never...
Shut up.
The fallen angel suddenly raises her gun, the muzzle almost reaching the Kukulkan's lips.
If you trust me, you should remember I've told you many times the Holy City is not so friendly, kind, or tolerant as you imagine. Half the people who followed you from the Abbey are not Sancta. There are plenty of places you can go after leaving Bolivar.
Perhaps what we follow is not the true Lateran faith, but it's what kept a modicum of order in our lives amidst the chaos of Bolivar. There's no way I can convince the others to go somewhere else. They want to make a pilgrimage. Nor can I convince myself Laterano is part of us now, after these long years.
You've got to be kidding.
Think of the Sanctor in the Abbey. They've never known Laterano, only the drama of the fall. Only by returning to Laterano will they know what happened. Only then will the fear be driven out. Only then can their sickness be cured. Let us walk together. Wait a while longer, Aurelia.
I'm not going back to Laterano because I miss my home. 10 years ago, an old man said something like this to me at another abbey. He was the one who exiled me in the name of Laterano because of some silly mistake. He wanted to hear me repent, hear me pray. He said there was a chance I could go back if I truly, sincerely repented for my sins.
You refused?
I sure did. Something seems to have gone really wrong in the whole city. I'm going to seize this chance for revenge.
Nueda steps forward and presses her face against the cold gun barrel. We won't stop you. We just need a guide. Someone who knows the way. Someone like you. The hymns begin to die down, replaced by the sound of children crying out. Aurelia lets out a laugh and puts away her gun. Was that a seal? was that a seal with wings and a halo? Okay, now that's more of a monster I'd expect. The other one was just a seal. The Shrine of Nurtry smears its colors on the surrounding buildings, opening numerous portals through which strange creatures with halos emerge one by one, falling to the ground. Strange creatures like seals. I mean, maybe there aren't seals in this world. I don't know. We don't know a lot about sea creatures, really. Those things get the blessing of Laterano too. It wasn't just the baby arbor beast. Claps excitedly. Sways uncertainly. They crawl on the ground, wagging their heads furiously, still trying to adjust to their halos. They bellow in a low, rhythmic voice as if joining together in prayer. Ugh. That one's ugly. Chaotic voice of the heart. If everyone in the Holy City has fallen in a sort of mass hallucination of an unknown source, does this scene before us mean that the boundary between reality and falsehood is being blurred and that Laterano is being invaded by a material threat? This is even more incomprehensible than what we experienced in the pavilion. One of them has noticed us, Fede. Praying? The noise we made seems to have disrupted their ritual. An enlightened creature turns toward Federico and Arturia, perhaps because it missed part of the prayer. Its halo flashes and its bloated hide seems to grow light and lithe, approaching the duo at high speed. Now those creatures have a similar... The fiery face thing kind of looks like the face of the, or the aesthetic of the Nurtry guard people and or robots and or creatures. Federico raises his gun, but the halo-adorned creature pays no heed, not even stopping its prayer. Pull back. The nature of these creatures is yet unknown. We must not be surrounded. I thought you would shoot without hesitation. Are these creatures our kin, Fede? Are you in violation of the law if you shoot? Is that a joke, or simply an ill-timed curiosity? Your patron firearm is lost, and I can neutralize these creatures without discharging mine. We will determine whether they should be considered our kindred or not, but not now. Perhaps there is someone who can answer our questions. Pope Evangelist VI. They finally said his name. I guess they remember, assuming no one else does. Move.
Reap not what's sown by malice.
That's just a pigeon. Very cartoonish pigeon. Gains fear for several seconds when its HP drops below 50%.
Found our prey.
See, those are all holes, actually. This is a very aerial level. I want to wake these guys up, I guess.
Whoever said a wheelchair couldn't get up onto a steel beam.
However it works.
I shall ensure the integrity of the law.
Eyes design, now that's cool. Gains fear when its HP drops below 50 for the first time. Attempts to steal 1 ammo from the target when attacking. Deals heavy physical damage if unsuccessful. It's killing the kids!
You saw nothing.
Your orders. Feel the bowstring tremble.
Need speed to succeed.
I didn't know they were targetable by enemies. I still don't know what these kids do for us.
Go ahead. Who would bear the news of your death? Ever crossed your mind?
Click on them. You know that's true. After awakening, recovers DP and operator deployment limit. Oh, okay. It's like Lemuin's playing Duck Hunt.
Bad luck. You ran into me. Moving to designated
She's
location.
dead.
Your orders. Feel the bowstring tremble.
Whoa! That guy's sneaking on through.
Okay, this is awkward, but I'm the only one who knows how to handle the chaos I created.
Bad luck. You ran into me. Moving to designated location.
Mission accomplished.
I will say I do appreciate that they held back on the new enemies until it was thematically appropriate in the story. They don't always do that. So you can the enemies can kind of be a bit of a spoiler. Or just confusing. Arbor Beast, huh? It's got really big feet. Like half its body mass. Such a sound. Do not fear, child.
Matriarch. You too, Nurturer. Thank you for your work.
I simply did what I could. The child is still weak. Take him back to his mother, Anduin. I will come and find you.
You seem unwell, Matriarch. Should I escort you to your apartment?
I am fine. The heartbeat continues to echo within me. Not just the mother. I can hear countless hearts resonating, so powerful it seems they could bring down this shrine. People have begun to link with one another, irrespective of race or background, but some have rejected the future we revealed. The nativity has come to an end. Our kindred need not stay here. We should prepare for the next stage.
Understood. You should retire. I'll take care of the rest. Once again, welcome to the Shrine of Nurtury. Whether you understood the Matriarch's proposal at the summit, and regardless of what you think of it, the birth and enlightenment of this Arbor Beast is undoubtedly a clear revelation. On how to remove the barriers between nations and races, on how to resolve the hatred and building lasting peace, on facing the calamity that hangs over our heads together. Beginning with the Nativity, the second Summit of Nations now enters a new stage. Laterano will share our halo with all races. May our Lord share the blessings with all.
Yeah, okay. Like, how did they get to this point? And also, all those people are fake, question mark? Because, like, the Empresses aren't there, that's for sure. Huishidel's not there. But, like, they say they are. Fiametta, Massima, over here! Lemuel, when did you come back? Why didn't you tell us? Nice outfit, huh? Including those handcuffs. I wanted to surprise you, scratch his head. What happened, Lemuel? It's a long story. I could buy you 2 minutes if you want to make a break for it. Sure. On second thought, maybe next time. I've caused enough trouble for my sister already. Did I interrupt a reunion? Believe. Can you take the suspect to the 7th Tribunal on your own, Cardinal Lemuin? Or do you need support? After all, attempted sabotage of the Shrine of Nurtury and the Summit of Nations is a serious charge. If you're concerned, you're free to come with us, or have a good night keep watch. Don't talk like that. After all, according to the conclavist Cardinal Aide Amos's testimony, you picked up Lemuel's trail at another case beforehand. Are you saying I tried to cover for my sister? Well, not exactly. All the evidence is circumstantial, and there's nothing that proves you did anything wrong. Do you recall our previous conversation in the shrine? I admire your ability and resolve greatly, Lemuel the Silent, but I also know when these virtues of yours are most prominently displayed. Besides, it's natural for us to be cautious when your sister's involved. I hope you understand. No need to worry. Letting Elle run around with all these charges against her won't help her. Of course. I'm sure the misunderstanding can be resolved as long as Lemuel cooperates. One moment, Shimmering Vigil and Legatus Mastema. What? Please remain here at the Shrine of Nurtry. The Curia has a mission for you. I took Elle away. After all the effort it took for the Magister to get me out of the hook, or off the hook. Come on, Vani. Is there anything else you can do? Don't bother knocking, Anduin. I have nothing to hide from you. The mother. Sleeping. I brought the child. His feathers have not yet grown in, but he is surprisingly lively. I thought perhaps you might want to pet him again. Thank you. It is comforting for me. This place. Do you remember we built it to house the mother when we came to Laterano? It became the first nursery of the shrine. I remember. We made this simple yet warm bed together and hung the comfort bells that gave her restful sleep. This room is no longer in use, but I came back from time to time, if only for prayer. This was our starting point, yours and mine. Stretches happily. I sense that he likes this place too. His halo is so bright. I noticed it the moment you brought him here. It is the miracle you have long believed in. But I don't understand what brought the premonitions of the miracle when you first encountered the mother. I had no premonitions, Anduin. I only saw your struggling heart. She was on her last legs, and what she needed was not healing, but her last rites. Yet you wanted to save her, and would not allow the idea to be dispelled by common sense. I believe that this thought, which you protected so dearly, would create the miracle of life. Life is a wonderful thing, one that can never be measured by the confines of common sense. Anyone would want to save her, matriarch. Therefore, anyone can create miracles. Miracles are so because people do not believe in the power of faith. It is the halo that gives song to faith, and faith that gives song to the halo. Have you ever pondered it? Our law, empathy, and the firearms, and the paradise that we built atop them. Did they all rise from a blessing without a cause, or common sense, or as common sense would indicate? I don't know. The past has its beginnings, as does the future. The shrine of Nurtry, this towering edifice, was not built in a day. It began as a simple, ordinary nursery. Our nursery. Did we start with the blueprints of such an imposing shrine? No, we merely wished for the safe, comfortable room for that mother. And yet, its frenzied evolution led to what it is now. That is how a future where all are saved can sprout from our faith. Matriarch, I followed you because I had long searched for such a future, and you happened to know the way. But I never thought, nor could I comprehend, why you believed it could begin with me. What I'm able to do is ultimately insignificant. Insignificant trifles and grandiose feats are but a hair's breadth from one another. You have labored for many years over this grueling journey of yours. You should not let such a meaningless difference stay your steps. I will need to lift your spirits, for aside from caring for this mother and child, there are many deeds that must be done, such as the next nativity. I think now we know that Anduin and the mother and the matriarch rather came together, like they met each other as they were just talking about themselves. Anduin's felt pretty passive in all of this, but I think actually maybe this is actually his plan. I don't know about the Pathfinders, his buddies. But, like, because they were trying to capture him, but I don't know if he, like, recognized them or maybe was pretending not to recognize them. I don't know about that. But he feels hopeless. Yeah, he feels very maybe he's not involved, but at the same time, this does fit with what we know. He was with the Pathfinders. He was the leader of the Pathfinders, and the Pathfinders were anti-isolationists. They wanted Laterano to accept all people. Right? And that's what this is, ultimately. Let's just turn everybody into Sancta. And then we can accept everyone. Right? Like, Guide Ahead was him. He confronted the Pope and had the big theological, had like a big debate with the Pope, and the Pope was like, it's not going to work that way. Like, we can't have Laterano be a place for all people. And then he showed him the law, and Anduin, like, realized that, like, yeah, the law is like, is a computer and is bigger than anything he can, like, comprehend. So maybe after that, he meets this matriarch person, whatever she is, and is able to set this plan in motion to fulfill his own ideals that maybe she is manipulating for whatever her goal is. I was thinking he was somehow a victim, but that conversation and everything, I'm like, I realized, like, well, his own beliefs are along this line of what's happening. I still don't know what's with the idea that the Pathfinders aren't in on it. The Pathfinders are excluded from all of it makes it seem like, yeah, maybe he's not fully in control of what's happening. Maybe he was manipulated into it, but it still is based off of his own beliefs. You're early. I'm already packed. You can just stick the seals on top so I can go back to bed. Patrician? Huh. I thought you were him. I was told the last part of the handover would be handled by the Notorial Hall. Why did they send gun knights?
That was assuming nothing had been tampered with.
What are you talking about?
Both the storage room and equipment show signs of recent use. Cardinal Aide Amos must have made it clear when he came here. All gunsmithing operations are to cease immediately upon signing the papers. Any unauthorized work on patron firearms or explosives would be a violation of law.
I've had this little workshop for decades. I couldn't let it go so easily. I just wanted to hear those old boys move again one last time and shed some tears over it. Is that so wrong?
You've already said as much. Your apprentice, Vanini. The one you took with you from the Shrine of Nursery. Where is she?
Must have gone back to watch the Nativity. She's not a kid anymore, besides. I don't see so well. I can't keep an eye on her all the time.
In that case, let us continue this conversation somewhere else.
What if I don't want to?
I do not wish to resort to force unless absolutely necessary.
It was Patrician who sent you here, wasn't it?
Come with me.
Hildegard, or Sister Hildegard, Reverend Gunnight.
Is she not in the monastery?
Yes, but she just had an accident. She's resting now.
What?
It's hard to explain. A mobile confessional suddenly showed up at the monastery yesterday. Sister Hildegard is lying inside unconscious. There is no one else. Someone had set the confessional's navigation system to bring her here. We're not sure what happened to her. Perhaps we can have her report to you once she wakes up.
This is urgent. Bring me to her.
But it's all right, Sister Garin. Hildegard, you're awake. Porridge. I'm fine, just a little dizzy. I ate the porridge on the table. I'm coughing because some of it went down the wrong pipe. Reverend Gunnight, you came for Arteria, didn't you? Yes, it's true that Arteria left the Leyden Monastery without permission. But I went after her as soon as I found out, and I caught her. But something unexpected happened. Please, give Leyden Monastery a little more time. No, give me a little more time.
We would like you to come with us, Sister Hildegard.
Well, all right.
It would be best if you came too, sister.
Me? Sister Garin doesn't have anything to do with this. I was the one in charge of supervising Arteria. This is my fault.
No need to worry, Sister Hildegard. With a major incident like this, the courier needs as much information as we can get. Now follow me, please.
To drive them away with fire is easily done. But if we're to ensure they'll never come back to hurt us, then a fire is not enough.
Our shadows fall where truth was once earned. We won't forget the lessons we've learned. Petals bloom, but they won't unmend. Drawn again into your wind.
Confess. Those deep in dream return to reality, while errant angels return to their homeland. You go casual, Exia? I'm just call it Grandpa. Yeah, I could have done that actually. It is the greatest graduation ceremony in the history of St. Theodore's Comprehensive School. No, the greatest ever held in the entire history of Lateran education. "17 giant fireworks burst up into the air as a 17-year-old red-haired Sancta strums her strings wildly, opening her solo concert. The sound echoes through the campus, rattling the windows of nearby school buildings. The pews near the stage, statues, and pool, apple pies of all kinds lie everywhere as gifts for her audience. But the entire square is empty as the red-haired Sancta plays her guitar and sings with no teachers or students to cheer her on. It is no rare sight to see a student planning her own graduation ceremony in Laterano, but she is not even at the age to do so. She fails to get her permission to graduate early, even if she has already completed her preparatory courses for university. But what a sin to complete them without a ceremonial flair. Students open their classroom windows and watch from afar as the red-haired Sancta strums and sings without a care, until her final number. Then they witness an unforgettable sight. The red-haired Sancta plays her last notes, bows, and thanks the air. the school gates then burst open as more than 100 automated confessionals flood into the campus. Where the audience should have been are now confessionals with their doors open, all their mobile electronic confessors joining the red-haired Sancta's performance with their volume set to maximum. Neither Laterano's largest choir nor its noisiest heavy metal band could rouse such a racket. Finally, the Pontifica cohort rushed to restore order on campus, as they persuade the confessionals to return to their roots. However, the instigator has long vanished from the scene, leaving only a single banner unfolding as the last firework goes off. Let's send Lemuel off on her next adventure with a bang. The confessionals are real. I wasn't sure if they were part of the illusion either. They are real. Lemuel stops over at the Lateran port. Yeah. So there's a saint statue here too. Weird. Oh, I never noticed before. They're actually pretty nice to look at. This is her first time leaving Laterano for a place without halos, and it's her search for people and answers. She suddenly thinks, for no particular reason, of how she might not return for a long, long time. I do like the new Exia art. Her hair looks better. Didn't think they'd actually let you interrogate me, sis. Only because the previous 7 cardinals got nothing out of you. Come on, Elle. Help me open this. Why is this thing wrapped so tight? Oh, wow, a Miafuya fruit tart. 7th Tribunal sure is nice to suspects. Come on, I made it myself. There's also this. Take it. What's that now? Your diploma. After I awakened, the head of St. Theodore's, who was also mentoring me at the time, came to see me and asked me to keep it for you. Your application to graduate was rejected, but that ceremony you put together did indeed prove your skills. After all, how could you get that many confessionals to perform with you if you weren't really familiar with their programming and the Intercity Net's defense patterns? So the school consulted the Curia and granted you a diploma in the end. Congratulations, Elle, even if it's a few years late. Yeah, thanks, sis. I'm sure my letters found their way to you. Yeah. You know, I made a bet with Mama and Tata that they said you'd major in Intercity Net security and become an expert in the tutorial hall. I thought you'd never waste your creative mind like that. I'm sure you'd major in faith assistive engineering and design a new mobile confessional that would shock the city. In the end, you left Laterano, just like that. Let me be clear, sis. I don't regret it one bit. You know, I'm not the type, and I'm even less the type to let anyone hold any regrets for me. Which is why you rushed all your preparatory courses and through that wild graduation ceremony, right? Yeah. I peppered Mastema with questions about you, your work in Lungman, your boss, your co-workers. I know you went to Syracusa, to Sargon, and many more places besides. You deal with all sorts of people every day. Gangs, cop, familia, Lords Emir. You're always on the move. Why does my life sound so different after going through a Mastema filter? Well, I did live a nice life after leaving Laterano. Wasn't sad or anything. I mean, you were still bedridden then. Didn't know how you got hurt. You'd ever wake up and Mastema refused to say a word. I had to know what the heck happened. You're my sister, you know. That woman, bless her heart, kept avoiding me. I got a whole load of nothing from her. Don't blame Mastema. You know, sis, I've been through a lot of these past few years. There's some stuff I would never have thought about if I stayed here. In Lungmen, Mastema was the only Sancta around, but she lost her empathy. Texas saw our croissant bison and the boss. At first, I made friends with them the same way I did here. We're all besties now, but without empathy, I sometimes can't help but worry about silly little things. I've been trying hard to overcome that, and every time I do, our ties become a little stronger. But here, things are different. Like, right now, I don't even have to think anything to know you want to go somewhere else to give me a big proper hug. What kind of collective has empathy turned us into? Does it make us more or less sensitive to others? Does it make us so insensitive that it's easier to accept totally outrageous change? Does this have something to do with everything you've done since you've came back? Laterano's sick, sis. Just like you were back then. We gotta wake it up. Elle, you need to give me more than that. There's Pontifical Cohort guardsmen right behind these doors, right? I heard them when I came into the room. Let me guess. Are you going to say this is your last chance or something like that? If you insist on refusing to explain why you disrupted the Summit of Nations and reveal the forces backing you, the 7th Tribunal will have to hand you over to someone else. I don't know what kind of punishment you'll face, Elle. Laterano's leniency has never applied to those who violate the law, especially these days. Come on, apple pie with mayonnaise! What?
What's going on? Was that an explosion downstairs? A terror attack? Aren't they interrogating the terrorism suspect upstairs right now? Who else would dare attack the 7th Tribunal?
Automated confessional, El Caro 001 in position.
A mobile confessional?
Fire. Those guns are real, huh?
Why does the confessional have guns? I mean, I guess it's the Laterano, but why can they use guns? What's going on? Who let that in here? Did they not realize this one's malfunctioning? But that's just a mobile confessional, buddy. Yeah, who thought it'd be a good idea to put so many guns on a confessional?
So, the mobile confessional that she was talking to, did she just reprogram it? Is that why she was talking to it?
Alert! A mobile confessional is attacking us and attempting to rescue the suspect, Lemuel.
Well, that's a bold assumption.
Calling all combat units. We need backup. I repeat.
Again. Now the left staircase. Blow it up and I can slow them down for a little longer. You read me, Elle. I'm here to save you.
Bonnie.
Sick idea. I never expected you'd find out the secret of this confessional and use it to help me out. It's nothing. Took me so long to finally realize that there's something unusual with this plate number. I noticed it when you stopped before, but I didn't think too much. All confessionals start with LC, or Lateran Automated Mobile Confessional, but this one starts with ELC. He practically scanned the entire city, stopping confessionals one by one until I noticed her. Alright, Exia. Pontifical Cohort reinforcements will be here soon, and the nurtury guards are on the move. We need to get out now. Coming right up. Or did she not? She was scanning the entire city until it noticed her. The guards the guards respond quickly, constructing an emergency passage upstairs, assembling to face the chaos. Exia breaks the door open as the confessional speeds up towards her, blocking bullets from the Pontifica cohort. She hops onto the vehicle and steadies herself as the confessional wobbles wildly from her landing. The Sancta's red hair flutters between the bullets and gun smoke. Confessor, oh wait, you've been exposed. So can we go back to normal now? Leader, Savior, Doctor, you're awesome. Huh? What? It was the doctor talking through that? There's 6 guns on the front outer deck. There's 3 guns in here. Feel free to use them as you please. Vanini switched out the bullets for non-lethal ones. As for whether they'll hurt your countrymen, I'll trust your aim. Gotcha. Talk about perfect timing. The 7th Tribunal confiscated my guns. The passages on both sides are hard to break through. We need a new escape route. Then through the windows we go. The noisier the better. We draw attention and make it easier for Vani to slip away. You won't fall apart, will you? Hold on tight. I can't promise I won't fling you out. Got it. Party's about to begin. So let's show them what a perfect pair we can do. You don't know how XA manages to wield so many guns at once to suppress all the Pontifica cohort gunsmen with a hail of bullets. You're also unsure if falling from a window this high will pose a problem back in reality. All you can do is take her and zoom to the sky. Divine Judgment. Rock and roll. Barrage. Appola, never mind, not the best place for that. He canonically says all those things, huh? Canon. Phew, I'm beat. Finally shook off the stragglers. That was tight. Since when did they react so fast? I guess Rose Island knows that something's happening to Laterano, which would make sense, I suppose. But I did not expect the doctor was like remote controlling the confessional ? Sure enough, you took to the roof, Cell. Always a contrarian, ever since you were little. Sis? What's with the confessional and that girl? Oh, just good friends of mine. You said all this law-breaking is about waking Laterano up. You were never the type to talk theory or explain something away with fancy rhetoric. But wake Laterano up, you mean to rouse everyone in the city awake? It's complicated. Look at me, Elle. Yeah? Separated by roof ridges, Lemuin looks at her sister. The sun is unbearably bright, but she said look at me so gently that Exia does not even blink before complying. For a long time, Lemuin and Exia stand unspeaking. Silence links the two. Go. You're letting me walk away? You were only just created a cardinal of the 7th Tribunal. If they find out you let a prime suspect go, you're as good as the Frocked, aren't you? Remember when the gunsmith had me pick a serial number for my Guardian gun? Of course I remember. You didn't even mull it over, you just went straight for the date Mama and Tata brought you home. I told myself then to protect you and them forever. Hey sis, aren't you afraid they'll say you're covering for me? You don't get it, Ella. When choosing whom or what to protect, trust comes first. The time we spent together, the empathy and understanding between us, that's why I trust my sister. Why I trust that she's making the right call. So the way I see it, I'm not covering for you just because you're my sister. In fact, there's plenty of other reasons for me to do this. Why don't you come with me? No. Your doubts, I've been having them too. Maybe there are some things I can still do in my position.
I think it's this way. Yeah, we followed them all the way here. Weird, they just vanished. They're so fast. Do confessional engines have that power? There are too many forks here. Plus, Lemuel split ways from the confessional. Contact the Notorial Hall and request executor support. Also, have them scan all mobile confessionals on the Intercity net to see if they can find one designated ELC-001. Roger. But what does the E stand for? Look, go ahead. Monster! Riding a bicycle, huh? Calcit would never. Grinds teeth, pedaling fiercely. You finally managed to catch up with you after clearing your escape route. I won't let the Laterans tear you apart. Thanks for the hard work. You know, I had to commend your sharp senses. You figured out Laterano was facing a calamity before, based on just a few Sancta operators' peculiar reports. Might have been too late had we waited any longer to move out. Make our move. It's only been a few months since everything happened at Rose Island. We have to be on guard for any strange cropping up. Amia is contacting our branch office operators. Closure is busy restructuring the new plates. Our lead operators are making sure the landship is secure. Well, you didn't take more than a second to decide to come with me. You're welcome, though it used to always be. Alright, Doctor. What's next? We were hiding out for so long, but now our efforts have gone to waste. We need to make sure Exia can move unhindered. There's no longer any points in hiding our tracks. True, the strange ritual's over and people have already awoken from the dream. I'm sure the machine is already reacting, and the Curia and Nurtury are speeding things up on their respective ends. Does it still want everyone to finish their dreams to complete its experiment? I can't use any of my skills here, and their comm controls turned you into this. They've cut down your engine power too. You move pretty slow now. I'm glad you're here. Well, I couldn't find anything else to drag you around either, so... Brit's teeth. Doctor. Open your door. There's a couple of donuts in there. I have to refill my energy. Oh my gosh. Ryan's teeth. Just being manhandled. What happened to the more gentle piggyback rides? Running wildly, brandishing claws. Are you holding on? I'm kind of used to it. I'm fine, this is how you used to carry me around.
Now's not the time for jokes, Doctor. The Shrine of Nurturing incubated these monsters with halos in the dream, but how did they get them to invade reality? Look at the projections on the buildings. Wow, sharp eyes to notice all these little details while I'm dragging you at high speed. Glad you have excellent dynamic visual acuity. Uh-oh, they're catching up. Alright, hold on tight. So what strange stuff were we talking about anyway? It's not the dream collapsing that's affecting reality. The dream is just a facade. It's already using reality itself. So the chaos in Laterano wasn't caused by the machine going haywire. It's the opposite. It dragged everyone into its collective dream just so it could maximize its synchronization efficiency and output a reprogrammed result, which it could do if it was running at full power. Doctor, we have to know what it ultimately wants Laterano to become. What prompted to make the decision, yeah. Monster, have you found the connection point yet? I've tried various methods ever since we came to Laterano, with our lead in hand and entered the dream, but... Shakes head aggressively. The machine's operating logic is too unique. I need more time. We're already exposed in both dreamland and reality, Doctor. The city is rejecting us like a virus. So, our current priority is to, stay alive. So, for some reason, in the dream, the machine, do they mean the law? Is this all the law is doing? The law has been experiencing some errors recently, actually, now that I think about it. In the law's dream, presumably, the doctor is interpreted as this confessional. How did that look from their end, though? From our end, like when we stormed the place with shooting people, how did that work? Calamity is already here, you're certain, but there is no time to express any regret as you and Monster rush through illusion and reality, fleeing. No, looking for a lead on the trail of your fate. This trip to Laterano has been perilous, yet the bumpy ride somehow helped you shelve some of your concerns. Unconsciously, you have already entrusted your life to her, to Monster. But of course. Thank you, Monster. Huh? They said it would always be Kaltsit who would come with us, but Kaltsit would never do any of that. I mean, Monster, I guess, would still do it. It's always Monster who would do it. Kaltsit would be there, but I guess it would be Monster still. Is that? I thought I was seeing things. Shall we go greet our mutual friend? Keep moving, Arturia. Are you not worried about the doctor? I am worried, but it is not my top priority at the moment. It is the first time I have seen that woman who took the doctor away, but her appearance and combat style are familiar to me. With her, the doctor is not in immediate danger. Also, the doctor has drawn away many of the monsters and created an opportunity for us to escape. We should leave at once and locate the Pope. Ede, I'll help you add what you just said to your mission report for Rose Island. I will write it myself. But they're saying other people are waking up. I wonder how many.
No need to make a scene.
Commencing operation. Please confirm the mission objective.
May the Lord bless us.
Claw the Sancta. It's interesting that they all have fear when you injure them. All of these tiles are asleep. Don't know what's the best way to deal with that. Oh, but that tile isn't. Oh, that's useful, actually.
Il posto stupendo.
Real estate question. This wonderful realm or a panoramic view?
Pass on your last words? No.
I knew you'd come straight to me, divine judgment traditional.
Prayers are unnecessary. Target confirmed.
What arrow should I try? Bow has 3 choices, and the enemy 3 hardships.
Well,
You saw nothing.
Your request is
only has one
reasonable.
block.
Need
Yes, that's
speed
true.
to succeed. Moving to designated location.
Understood.
Roar.
Guess she will deal with it.
A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
I only do what I need to.
I forgot Fiametta drains her life. Been a while.
Switching forms.
Sights locked. Anyone in front of me who still feels like drinking?
I wasn't supposed branch and bone, but gospel. Gather at my fingertips. Feel the bowstring tremble.
Sights locked.
What arrow should I draw? Aim. Loose.
Oh, that guy attacks people. Huh. The children do help us. Wow.
Mission accomplished.
It seems we've come up empty-handed. The room shows little sign of recent human activity. His usual household furniture, such as the rocking chair, coffee maker, and shooting target, are all covered in dust. How long has it been? The terminal shows no communication records or abnormal messages. There is no opportunity to produce any additional evidence for now. Preliminary deductions: Pope Evangelist VI has been missing for roughly 2 weeks. I only met His Holiness once, and already mentally prepared myself but to know something really has happened to him. Arturia, explain. You seem to have a theory as to where His Holiness has gone. We meet again, Grandpa with the Lateran candy. The Curia's joint trial has already concluded, with your signature on the verdict. The condemned should not be having a private meeting with the Pope, though. So, what is your decision? So straightforward. I imagined you'd say something like, I was just taking my post-dessert walk and accidentally bumped into you. As for whether I'm willing to become a so-called saint, I believe we had a thorough discussion on the topic when I was at Rhodes Island. We certainly did. I'm quite fond of that landship myself. A pity our meeting was so short. I still remember that sunset, when you performed a not-so-Lateran piece. I also remember you were hoping for me to provide more evidence. Yes. You still remember my words, child? That every light we know will one day be extinguished. It's etched into my mind. It's an interesting expression, after all. That day will come soon, of course. It is just a hunch. The Pope points to his own halo. It's been sending me a lot of warnings lately, but refuses to respond to any of my questions. What does that mean? To put it another way, our glorious law is suddenly no longer interpretable. I only know how to play the cello, Your Holiness. Of course, of course. Interpreting scripture is the Pope's job. Trouble has popped up at work and I have to figure out how to solve it somehow. So what do you need me to do? Stay vigilant. I'm not sure what exactly will happen. This is the only thing I can say. If the Holy City's lights do go out, then trust in your ideal understanding, your ideal emotion, the kind of unreserved, pure, and honest communication that you seek. An alienist like you will then perhaps become a panacea, or a poison, but regardless, you will turn things around. It sounds as if I have no reason to refuse you. Though, I'm not the only alienist Laterano has. Indeed. I was just about to contact the other saints. So I pray we still have the time. Yeah, who are the other saints? So I guess she really did get sent to a farm. I guess she didn't fully accept being a saint. I thought she was like, I didn't think she had a choice, but so that is why you began suspecting your surroundings so early. Not the whole reason, Fede. One's inner theme may stay the same, but it's hard for me to miss those supplementary and missing segments, all blended together too seamlessly. Sister Hildegard is a good example. What concerns me more, though, is that the incident happened before His Holiness managed to find you. The situation is too complicated. All of Laterano has fallen into an unfathomable calamity on a scale near to what we experienced in the Witch King's Pavilion. We require support. Fortunately, I have my cello with me. Magister. There is no answer. Vanini walks around the workshop but fails to find her master. She spots a bottle of eye drops on the workbench uncapped. Bonnie, about time! Huh? The gun knight came by earlier and took Pagani away! Before he left, the gun knight told me to tell you to hurry over to the Curia to assist their investigation. Bonnie, are you two in some sort of trouble? By the way, you better get going to the Curia. Gun knight wasn't in the best of moods. Magister. It must be because of her and Elle, but no matter, she thinks her master should not get caught up in this. Wait, these are... Some bullet casings are scattered on the workbench as if they were casually left by a careless gunsmith. Vanini puts on her gloves and begins collecting them as she usually does. But suddenly she feels as if she recognizes these casings like they're old friends. The shells are smooth to the touch. Even the etchings have been rubbed flat. How many times have they been handled? What kind of bullet casings would receive such care and in whose hands? Vanini takes off her gloves. She touches a casing, the metal still slightly warm. Hog. Deus meus, Lord Almighty! You scared the glasses off of me! Are you finally gonna say something? You're already 4, you know. Any sancta your age should be speaking with a bright halo over their head. Alright, I was hallucinating, you still can't talk. I would have left this rotten place long ago if I hadn't picked you up by chance. Just thinking about having a knife in the same city as that damned patrician makes me sick. How many hospitals and churches have we been to, huh? And still no one has any idea if you're just born like this? Or if your lord has a problem with you. It's been 3 years. You have no halo and neither do I. So of course I have no clue what's going on in your head. Seems like I've gotten used to my little mute here. And I myself am growing quieter by the day. In 3 years. You're already 4. She doesn't have a halo. But earlier that they implied that once some kid was like 5 and didn't have their halo yet, and that seemed like it was normal. But she's 4 and should have her halo, and the doctors don't know why. She doesn't? Okay. I don't know how Sancta work, but it seems like they aren't born with the halo. They do gain it at some point, but maybe it's variable. I don't know. Oh, whatever. You haven't run off in the middle of the night, so I'll just assume you like it here. That's enough for me, considering how responsive you are. If you ever want to communicate with me, you'll have to figure it out a way yourself. Lottie, let go. Why the sudden hugging and crying and laughing? Did I flip a switch somewhere? You don't usually respond to anything I say. Are you trying to make up for all these years at once? Also, what's with the sudden light over your head? Those doctors and clerics treating you the past 3 years couldn't do a thing. But you picked a gun up with that Lemuel kid and now you're fine? Yeah, still can't speak, Won't you Sancta sprout halos from your first word? Did your halo come out early because it got impatient? Okay, so when they learn to speak, they get a halo? Grabs her master's hand and nods vigorously. I'm no Sancta, so I don't know how to get you to communicate with a kid that threw a guardian gun or how much it mattered to you. In any case, now I know you can understand me perfectly, and that's enough for me. Gripping her master's face feathers. Okay, that hurts. If you're willing to listen, I can teach you a less violent way to communicate. Sit here and stay. Look at these bullet casings. Here, I'll teach you. It's when I'm able to talk. I shouldn't... Oh. So she's supposed to be mute, like how Lemuin is able to walk in this. Okay, interesting. To little Vanini, understanding an expression were a pair of rusty doors blocking her from communicating. She lived with the Garrulus. That's a word. And eccentric Liberi for 3 years. Giving garrulous, given to excess and often trivial or rambling talk. Talkative. Unable to figure out when he was happy or angry, unable to express how annoying, or unable to express her own annoyance or adoration. She never thought a Sancta with both fiery hair and personality would blast a hole into her sealed-off heart without the need for words. Later, her master pieced small bullet casings together and, word by word, taught her a whole new language. Even after she finally learned some simple phrases, they still used the shells to communicate. But today, she no longer remembers when exactly did she finally manage to grasp the most complex of sentences, let alone how many times she nonchalantly tossed the shells left by her master into the trash. She dares not imagine his perplexed face as he rubbed the shells they used for more than a decade, wondering why his student no longer cherishes this special language from the depths of her memory. Through tearful eyes, she realizes once more what those casings mean. It's a warning. No, Magister. So did Paganini know the whole time that something was up as well? Oh, Vani, I just remembered something that was bothering me. When the gun knight took Paganini away, it didn't look like they were heading for the Curia. Say they were going toward the Shrine of Nurtury. Colonel Lemuin, forgive my tardiness. I was just sorting out the gunsmithy handover documents. There's just so much. Why are you here?
Cardinal Aid almost have a seat. He's now just passing on the Curia's newest orders.
What kind of orders require your presence?
The Curia has decided to suspend all of Cardinal Lemuin's work, and you shall serve as an acting cardinal of the 7th Tribunal until her work review is complete.
What?
You heard me. The 7th Tribunal was raided by unknown forces recently, and the suspect Lemuel, who attempted to disrupt the Summit of Nations, managed to escape during the chaos. Cardinal Lemuin made contact with the suspect but released her without authorization. After further investigation, it was discovered she acted similarly during the Pagus Stavonis explosion and the attack on the Shrine of Nurtury. Cardinal Lemuin has engaged in severe violations of the 7th Tribunal's Code of Conduct, as well as the law.
But why me?
We wouldn't have captured the suspect without the crucial evidence you provided, and perhaps the Nativity would have been sabotaged. Almost, you've spent more than a decade in the 7th Tribunal, correct?
2 more months and it'll be exactly 14 years.
You're the oldest functionary here and are familiar with the 7th Tribunal's business. Does that not make you the most suitable candidate? It may have been an absence of opportunity rather than a personal lack of ability that has prevented you from playing a more important role. Be more confident in yourself, boy.
Boy? Reverend Patrician, I've always felt you did not like me much. I still remember the first time Aurelia and I went to visit you. It was not you, but Fiammetta, who had just came home from school, welcomed us.
I mean, I don't like you. Aurelia was my best student, exceptionally talented in armored combat and firearms, but she had too much of a character and extreme way of doing things. While you, on the opposite, were too weak, and yet, these are your own choices. I'm just saying this again. I wasn't home that day because my armor broke and needed fixing. Besides, if we're gonna make it personal between us, you're the one who's holding a deeper grudge, right? I personally expelled Aurelia from Laterano after all.
When it comes to that, I only blame myself. You're right, I'm too weak and have nothing to my name. Couldn't help Aurelia diffuse her anger, and even though I was right there with her, and so she hurt that shackled sarcasm in the Abbey and ultimately leveled her gun at her own people. After she made that terrible mistake, I didn't even manage to see her one last time, Reverend Patrician. I really can't do anything.
Then think on what you still can do right now.
Now?
The Summit of Nations is still ongoing, and the 7th Tribunal has lost lots of business on hand. You will be temporarily created Cardinal, as the Curia has decided. Alright.
What?
Handshake review complete, you now have access to Cardinal privileges and permissions.
Wait, so fast, I still haven't...
Cardinal Admos, in the face of calamity, Laterano must strive for efficiency. So, there will be no welcome tea and cake for you.
Damn. With the gun knight gone, Amos pulls out a chair, he opens his terminal, and his privileges have indeed already been updated, as Patrician said. Everything happened so fast, he needs some time to adjust, and he suddenly realizes something. He taps on the File Explorer and scrolls all the way down, finally arriving at his target at the bottom. He opens the document, his finger pausing on the signature confirmation page. Really, I finally... Newly created Cardinal almost sees a smile on his face reflected on the terminal screen. It is a little ridiculous, he thinks. Who's this person? This is I guess it's just a new NPC, background character. It's Laterano. We're finally back. No, something's off. Those strangely colored shadows, look at their shapes. They're protecting the Shrine of Nurtury. What's going on? Has Laterano changed, or do we have brain damage? Watch out, behind you! Brain. A creature with a halo? What? That's more and more of them. Wait, stay back. I don't need an extra halo on me. Nice shot. They don't dodge bullets. We should be fine. Why do you look so dazed? Let's clear a way out. What's wrong? You're fallen. Okay, so you can't shoot them, I guess. So the people inside who are waking up did not fall. Everyone outside did fall, but if you shoot those things, you do fall. Awakenings may have influenced others to wake up as well, but there are also more of those halo-sporting creatures. Those creatures dragged the awakened into the strangely colored projections, and then vanished altogether. They did not even manage to retaliate, and the Sancta who shot at those creatures have fallen. Pede, I'm afraid my joke from before was no joke at all. These things are considered Sancta, and thus are people. How strange and chaotic their hearts sound. What should I listen for within the mess? What should I share with them? They can't feel our emotions either, and are anxious over it. They desperately want to share theirs, but they can only resort to brute force. Like an infant yet to grow a halo, no matter what they want to express, they can only cry and grab their parents' sleeves. Yes, they are people, just too immature. Immature but powerful. The law grants an infant a halo when it speaks its first word because language represents rationality's awakening. And rationality refers to a Sancta finally gaining the capacity to be conscientious of both their people and the law. Why would the law deem a pack of non-sentient creatures as Sancta and also compel them to use brute force to intervene in their people's fate? Anomalies only continue to multiply. Currently, the only individual we may cooperate with is the Doctor. Being present already, the Doctor must know something about the current situation. Arturia, are you certain the Doctor remembers the sound of your strings? The Doctor was almost present at every of my few performances at Rhodes Island. A pity the Doctor was never my intended audience, but I ought to be glad the Doctor seemed to be listening carefully every single time. Only your first sentence contained actual information, Arturia. Sure. Well then, Fede, I'll guide the Doctor with my cello. A sudden notification beep interrupts the two. Here and now, of all times. Federico checks his communicator. Hello? Can you hear me? Aurelia, former citizen oh.
Aurelia, former citizen ID LC00-73458. A group of Erari, Sancta, and war refugees are currently north of the Lateran city 3 kilometers out. Requesting permission to enter the city.
Mission complete.
Our shadows fall where truth was once earned. We won't forget the lessons we've learned. Petals bloom, but they won't unmend. Drawn again into your wind.
One more. Funeral. All walk toward the inevitable end. That is why the continuity of meaning is so precious.
Our shadows fall where truth was once earned. We won't forget the lessons we've learned. Petals bloom, but they
This is the place. Enjoy some rest. I thought I was going to the Notarial Hall or the Basilica to be questioned about Arteria's escape. The gun knight who brought you here has other business to attend to. He asked me to tell you not to worry about the Arteria case. Long has lain in monastery, served the holy city dutifully. There will be no excessive penalty just because a single prisoner escaped. Phew, that's good to hear. It was for another reason that you were brought here. There are so many. Would you prefer a quieter location? No, what I mean is, why is everyone in this nursery Laberry? Hildegard scans around the room and sees Laberry in all sorts of outfits, sitting or standing. There is little conversation, only the steady ring of comfort bells. Hundreds, thousands, too many to count. The entire city's worth of Laberry seems to be assembled here. Since when did the nursery become so large? More importantly, why are all of these Laberry here? Don't tell me you have a room full of paros, a room full of felines, and a room full of lupos. An astute observation. We also have rooms for fallen angels and sarkas. You're awfully forthcoming. The Shrine of Nurtury has nothing to hide. At the conclusion of the Nativity, the Curia announced that the Sancta will share the halo with all races. The simplest method is to do it race by race. Yes, I guess this girl's a Laberry. Do you mean that we have halos too? We can feel each other the way the Sanctas do. As you felt the Arbor Beast's heartbeat in the Nativity. Why? Why what? Why do we need halos? So you brought me here not because of Vanini, but because I'm a Laberry? Yes. I'll get a big old light over my head like you.
Go in, Pog.
Ah, sounds like I don't have a choice. That also sounds like a wonderful thing, doesn't it?
At least it'll be good for your eyes.
More than that, I think. If I had a halo, I'd be able to tell what that metal heart of yours is feeling when you kicked Gia out of Laterano.
I know you blame me for that.
Glad to know that you know.
Maybe things would have gone better for you if it hadn't happened. Over the centuries, Lateran history, many have tried to recreate the terrifying high-caliber revolving antique gun that the ancient tomes described, only you succeeded. That design, which assumed the user could withstand a recoil 5 times that of an ordinary gun, was the work of a genius or a madman.
Oh, are you bragging about being born a gun knight? After all, you successfully tested my design before ever putting on a suit of armor.
I just thought that we were born to be partners. You, I, and Georg. We were always the best of friends, from primary school through university. But my first official mission as a gun knight was to exile Gia from Laterano. After that, you gave up gunsmithing for the Apostolic Knights. Opened a workshop somewhere I didn't know about, and now...
I decided to retire, alright? You and your Vapa shrine of gunsmithing. What use did the Sancta have for me? If you're treating gunsmithing like making potato chips. It's a crime to be non-Sancta, is it? Gia got exiled, I get to have a halo put on me. The Liberi aren't allowed to live in Laterano the way we are now, are we?
The thing with Gia had nothing to do with being Liberi. Even if she was Sancta, the Lateran wouldn't allow someone with overpathy.
You don't know shit! Lateran order, Lateran purity again! How many times do you think I've heard that garbage from you? Do you really believe in it yourself? Somnias dormis. How could you? If you ever thought you ever sensed even once about how Gia died out there alone. I admit I did believe in it, Patrician, until that day. A lot of people getting exiled, but no one joining them. Like, that guy, like, almost didn't join Aurelia, even though they're married, right? This guy didn't join Gia. I don't know if Gia was just a friend or... We got hangovers together, played with guns together, cried and laughed together. No one in Laterano could clink glasses like we could. But when I saw Gia disappear into the wilderness, you just turned around and went back to Laterano the way I did. That was when I realized we never actually shared a damned thing. The halo is not a bad thing, Sister Hildegard. It's Laterano's blessing on us. I know. From the earliest nomads who followed the burden beast to the berry had always learned from the Sancta. From their ways of living to their ways of thinking. The Liberi long for a better life, and they long to be part of the Holy City. We understand that. I know. I told that history to Artoria not so long ago. But there is only one thing the Liberi can never learn from the Sancta, the Halo. That is why certain conflicts between the Sancta and other races live in Laterano have lingered to this day. Unable to take part in Sancta empathy, you are troubled by doubts about your faith. You suspect Laterano of being indifferent or of alienation. To help with land and monasteries' finances, you were away from Laterano for a long time, Sister Hildegard. That is why you may not have sufficient understanding of the situation. You can ask your fellow Liberi. I know. I know how many outsiders who live there envy your empathy. That is why we will now share it with everyone. There will be no more misunderstandings or differences. We will truly understand one another and eliminate the conflicts and barriers between us. The Liberi will become a true inseparable part of Laterano. I just feel sad. What? I grew up in this city. I know where one can find the best desserts, which alleys have cloud beasts that have a special taste for pumpkins, which buildings have rooftops perfect for stargazing. At Land and Monastery, I made beer and bread with the Sanctus sisters, traveled to other countries to solicit sponsors, and got completely plastered whenever we came back. I took pictures of how their wings went through the backs of their chairs when sleeping, and they played lullabies in the chapel when I sneaked out, so that the abbot would sleep a little longer. I remember that. Actually, the abbot knew. He just didn't want to scold you. I'm a Lateran. I like this place. I love it very much. You're right that I often find myself on the outside looking in. I don't know why the Sanctus, who had been crying a moment ago, started laughing and singing at their cohort's funerals. But my father was a hunter. Every winter he would go into the mountains with his friend to hunt. He told me that even hunters who have hunted together for decades can have different ideals. They're different ideas when they see the same quarry. They sometimes even fight over it. Everyone is different. That has nothing to do with whether or not we have a halo. But you tell me I won't truly become a Lateran until I have a halo. Do you mean to say that I wasn't a true Lateran for the past 20 years? Has my entire life been a poor imitation? Archetto's 20, okay. It has. Sister Hildegard, but you should not see that as a rejection of you or any other Liberi. It is simply a necessity for the acceptance of Laterano. I don't care about rejection or acceptance. I just don't think there's anything wrong with my life. And I don't see a reason why I have to accept this so-called blessing. Laterano has already made a decision, Sister Hildegard.
It was the first time I experienced a parting, Pog. It wasn't a good feeling. I guess that was when my life started to go off the rails. It's like those popcorn movies, you know, the Chainsaw Guy series or the Bridges of Machiavellian. First Gia, then you, then my finest student. I exiled her from Laterano personally. I worried too about Fia.
What? You're worried your dear granddaughter might run away and you'll die alone?
You all had your issues. I tried to do something, but I never actually helped anyone.
Huh. Did you really try? Or are you just lying to yourself to feel better?
Maybe both. But there's something you got wrong. I support the idea of halos for everyone, not only because I want to protect the order and purity of the Holy City. You're making Laterano sound awfully racist by putting it this way.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Laterano, where everyone shares the halo, will truly become one and whole. And will be able to solve the unimaginable calamity that threatens all of Terra. It's also solved all the other problems we've been having, including... Anyway, I think that's enough sharing for now.
Deo gratias! Thank God it's over. Hearing all that garbage from you again is making me sick to my stomach.
Go on in, Pog.
And if I say no, I don't want that light show you got on your head, and I've got no interest in studying your honorable motives. Lagini levels his gun at the gun night. Oh snap.
Just give it a minute.
What do you mean?
You're a genius gunsmith, Pog, but you're a Liberi. You can't use the guns you make. They're just your calling cards. If you're really that furious with me, give it until the ceremony. Then you can put a bullet in me. Once you have a halo, you'll be able to use it.
Pagini smashes the gun against the knight's armor, pieces flying in all directions, and the broken gun stock makes a dull thud as it hits the ground in the distance, echoing throughout the corridor.
Go on in, Pog.
Legatas Mastema, Overseer Fiametta. Your contribution to Laterano is much appreciated. Now, kindly come this way. Yeah, the nursery's already filled to the brim. The ceremony is about to begin. The matriarch will first enlighten the Liberi who have lived in Laterano for many years. Then the broken halos and wings of the fallen angels will be repaired. Quickly now, I will lead the way. Heh.
No need to make a scene.
More beds. So many beds.
May the Lord bless us.
My bad luck. You ran into me.
Oh, the seal
Need
flies,
speed
huh?
to succeed.
Flippers of the Sancta. Gains fear. Sends invitation to prayer to temporarily reduce all your units' attack speed.
Moving to designated location.
How do we awaken everyone down there? That's gonna be a mess. There's this thing though.
There are certain things I must handle personally.
I shall ensure the integrity of the law.
Que posto stupendo.
Destruction is the most naive behavior. Your request is reasonable.
So much at least make me lose the coat.
Spring breeze, timely rain. Feel the bowstring tremble. Feel the bowstring tremble.
I wasn't clear skies for Tuning, rain clouds for Guru. Whoever said a wheelchair couldn't get up onto a steel beam?
Your orders. Draw. Aim.
Target eliminated.
Mission accomplished.
He'll turn fallen. I'm not a Sancta. Come in. It's a great outfit she wears. It really is. Cardinal Lemuin, I'm afraid you'll have to find another way to address me now. And I was under the impression that the courier wasn't letting anyone visit me. Isn't that right? I'll put in a report. I was only just created. It's only natural that I would seek my predecessor's advice. Huh. You've adapted quickly, Cardinal Amos. I thought you said you didn't really have aspirations. Senora, I didn't come to gloat. Our relationship was never cloak and dagger, was it? Sorry, but if you came to ask about Lemuel, I've already said this many times. I have no idea where she is. It's something else I want to ask about. Did you sacrifice your career only to protect your sister, or did you truly believe what she said? The Nativity, the Summit of Nations, Something doesn't seem right about all that's been happening in Laterano lately. It's like we've come down with a sort of illness. They're the same thing to me. There's something I want you to see. Almost turns his terminal on and hands it over to Lemuin. What's this? Application to join the Legati. I wanted to be a legatus and get assigned to Boulevard. You want to leave Laterano? Why? My wife and I, we had a big fight and I left. I came back, she had gone on the mission dealing with Sarkaz raiders, attacking caravans near the wilderness in Kazdal, and she's always been like that, never listening to people. It was winter. I figured she wouldn't be back until spring, and I was thinking about doing something to make up for my leaving. You know the rest about what happened to her, fallen exiled, etc. It was convenient that the 7th Tribunal was responsible for national security and foreign relations. It took a long time, but I finally found out where she went, and I thought... I understand. What do you mean, though, when you said something didn't feel right? The selection standards for Legati are extremely high. A man of my ability didn't have much hope, so the application sat in my draft box for a long time, until... You approved your own application when you were created Cardinal of the 7th Tribunal. Yes. You can do that? Reverend Patrician said all I needed was an opportunity when he informed me of my imminent creation. I'm sure he meant something else, but this is all I could think of. However, the moment I approved the application, it just vanished. No notice of rejection, no record to be found anywhere. It just disappeared and from my terminal, like it never existed. There is no way the application would have gone through. I would not be allowed to resign my cardinalate and become a legatus so quickly. Besides, all the legati have been recalled to Laterano. I wouldn't be able to go and see our ruler. Even if I really did become one. For me, approving the application wasn't even about making up anything. It was just a small, insignificant comfort. Who would have want to wipe away such a small comfort? For me, that was enough to make me question if this Laterano is real. Maybe your sister was right. Have you told anyone else? No, I couldn't sleep last night. You were the only one I could talk to about this. This isn't some newfangled interrogation technique, is it, Cardinal Amos? You can trust me, Senora Lemuin. We both have things that truly matter to us. A few things. An interesting point, Senor Amos. By the way, there's an even bigger nativity schedule at the Shrine of Nurture today. We prepare for death of all lives. Even in a place like Rockamare, where everything is washed out by the tides of plague and famine. An old man may lick his parched lips and say something to the effect before his eyes close forever. Words as old as time, as they say. To some, they are an eulogy of wishes unfulfilled. To others, an utterance free of regret. But there is a common premise between the two. Death is the conclusion to life. Looks up in confusion, flaps wings anxiously. Indeed, child, your mother will answer no more. She has died. Soft chirp. The mother has breathed her last breath. Anduin gently closes her eyes. The fledgling leans over. He is trembling. Even the sheen of his hide darkened. Anduin places him on his own knee and looks into his eyes. The fledgling's voice is mumbled. Anduin does not speak the language of beasts, but he can feel sorrow, like a current running beneath the calm surface, the fledgling's and his own. Death is accompanied by a new birth. When your mother knew that her own life was beyond saving, she chose to leave the hope of life to you. She used her last strength and succeeded. This is your first lesson. Soft chirp. Rosa Mare. Town with the clock tower, the abbey in the wilderness, and now I've experienced many such moments, and now I have another. Each experience brings deeper insight. All walk toward the inevitable end. That is why the continuity of meaning is so precious. Death is a parting, a gift from the deep departed to the living, the beginning of the living's own salvation. Do not fear, child. Lament and remember, I will do so with you. I will stay outside and leave her funeral to you, Anduin. And what of the matriarch? She is indisposed, preparing for the nativity to bestow halos upon all non-sancta here. She sends her apologies. No matter. We have grown accustomed to welcoming new life with ceremony. While funerals are always simple, tell the matriarch that it will be a little while before I return to duty. Are you all right? Mother's passing was sudden. The child is young and unaccustomed to such sorrow. I must stay by his side. No, it's you the matriarch is worried for. What do you mean? The matriarch said she and you had been with this mother for a long time. She understands the sorrow in your heart. You are a thinker. Every journey gives you inspiration, but also fatigue. As for the child, he is a miracle. He has the strength to emerge from darkness. The matriarch wishes me to tell you that no new life in Laterano will ever succumb to calamity, nor sorrow. They will be born equal. They will be brave, and they will be strong. Laterano will see to it. Anduin feels the fledgling arbor beast push against his arm. He wants to calm him down, but the fledgling pushes his hand away and spreads his wings. The fledgling takes flight, landing upon a comfort bell in the middle of the room, making a pleasant sound. Anduin watches in confusion. He has worn a halo for decades, yet his eyes still struggle to adjust to the fledgling's dazzling light. Flaps wings forcefully. Loud cry. He has been with the fledgling day and night. He knows what these movements mean. The fledgling is inviting him to play. The nurturer, who can never turn down a child, stands stunned. He wants to communicate his sorrow, decline this incomprehensible invitation in the most tactful way possible. But eventually he steps up and takes the young arbor beast's claw, dancing a waltz in the middle of the empty room along to the comfort bells. The arbor beast's excited cries echo throughout the room. His feathers shine bright under the halo, showing its sheen unreservedly in the spinning circles. Their steps grow quicker, and Anduin looks toward the body of the deceased mother, trying to ascertain his own emotions. Then he realizes, with a start, he is no longer sad. He is joyful as the fledgling. He is beautiful as the fledgling. He sings and dances for the future, with a heart full of hope, just like the fledgling. Their spinning steps draw beautiful circles on the ground and in the air. Is this what Sancta means? Only the instinct to avoid pain, but no right to sorrow and mourning? Is this the Sancta? Is this the miracle of life? Nobody answers his hysterical call. His matriarch is bestowing halo after halo upon the people in the Hall of Enlightenment. He alone stops in his tracks. He recalls a funeral, one that should not exist in his memory. A field of irises, a child, cruel but sincere confessions and prayers, ringing of bells. Oh wow, a new background. Look at this place. Still no answer? Hey. Arella?
You don't believe me. You listen for yourself.
Ouch. Sound hurts my ears. It's just noise. I can't make out anything. What's going on, Arella?
You're asking me?
You're a gun knight. We're at least, you know more about these things than we do.
You said it yourself. I was a gun knight. The static is bad enough. You want to add to the noise? I know plenty of ways to shut you up.
You're so aggressive. Sister. Don't be afraid, Hugo. Please, Arella, children are watching. These Sanctas have come a long way after a terrible ordeal that left them with their broken elos and a heart full of fear, no comfort in sight.
The intercity net of Laterano has always been very stable, with dedicated personnel performing regular maintenance on communication equipment located in settlements outside the city. This emergency communication post is only 3 kilometers from the Lateran city. If any one of them is still working, this would be it, but I've sent a dozen hails through the special channel with no response. Is Laterano really done for?
Could you try a few more times, Arella?
You look even more nervous than them.
Do I? Nueda does not say more. A few children come over and grab the hem of her dress, staring forward with her. The white walls of Laterano are already visible from this settlement. Impeccable as the clouds, it looks like the abode of a Holy Spirit who accidentally ventured into the mortal realm, a miracle that should not exist. The pilgrims are but a stone throw away, dusty and tired. Their broken halos and wings seem even darker in this wilderness. The pilgrims have reached the end of their journey, but is it truly the end of their suffering? That's it, Laterano.
Looks like the people in there can hardly even fend for themselves at this point. Get your things, we're going in.
You're right. We can't wait here forever. Let's go. But if we enter the city without the Curia's permission...
Tell me, when did fallen sitters ever ask the Curia for permission when we decided to return? Don't tell me you came here to repay Laterano's kindness. I'll put you in first against the wall.
Stop. Oh. You must not enter Laterano.
Look who we've got here, a Notorial Hall Executor.
Are you Aurelia?
You know who I am.
I looked you up in the Notorial Hall database after receiving your message. Aurella, former citizen ID LC0035-73458, former captain of the 3rd Gun Knights. You were tasked to escort a Lateran caravan through the northern wilderness in the winter of 1090, when you engaged a group of Sarkaz mercenaries in combat. You completed your mission, but the nomadic abbey encountered a small-scale catastrophe on your way back. The Sarkaz prisoners attempted an insurrection and were executed on the spot by you. When a fellow gun knight attempted to record the events truthfully in a mission report, you threatened your cohort with a gun in order to hide your excessive use of force. In the chaos that ensued, you killed your cohort, resulting in you being stripped of citizenship and exiled from Laterano for life.
And what of it, Senior Executor? Are you trying to remind me that Laterano will never forgive my sins? Look at the hundreds of people here. Some are fallen angels who were exiled like me. Some are Arari, who left the Holy City for different reasons. Some of them have never seen the Holy City, growing up in a cesspit like Bolivar, yet still believing in the tenets of Laterano. Have you not seen their halos? Are they fallen or are they sick? They've crossed the mountains and rivers to come here for an explanation, for any comfort they can find. And all the Lateran does is send a single executor to stop us from entering.
Oh snap. More and more Ariari Sanctas gather, surrounding Federico, pointing their weapons at him. You'll keep us out because we left Laterano for too long and forgot how to live like other Sancta? The law punishes sinners, but what sin did I commit when all I did was live 20 honest years in Litania? If the law is that cruel, then it's not us who should be punished, it's you and your cohort, tusk beasts of the law. I fell because you punished an innocent man. You've never used your power for good. Federico watches the crowd quietly. The street lamps have lit at an inopportune time, casting eerie colors upon their faces. Fear, anxiety, anger, confusion, panic. All these emotions come together to twist their visages. Their hands tremble as they hold their weapons. Tension is palpable in the air. Federico is confident he can take out their leader quickly and suppress the rest by force, bringing the situation under control. He has always done so. It has always worked. Federico is an outstanding executor. He has been at the Notorial Hall for 8 years. He knows what he is doing. This is his 3rd year as a saint. Other than a burnt flower and a few chance acquaintances, there is no one to guide him or instruct him. Slowly he moves his hand away from the gun at his belt, making sure that the tense crowd sees it, while his eyes never leave them. I did not come to repeat the judgment that Laterano once passed upon you. I am not here as a representative of the Notorial Hall, the Curia, nor any other official Lateran organ. The reason you must not enter Laterano is because the city is currently affected by anomalies beyond comprehension. Your presence may cause the situation to further deteriorate. I will explain, but I need time. Arturia, you should not leave the Holy City. Don't worry. I met the doctor, and I'm here on the doctor's instructions. The doctor's discovery confirms our hypothesis. All of Laterano is caught up in some kind of dream, but the anomalies in the dream are being reflected in reality. A calamity has descended on the entire city. Like the Kagurite invasion of Zrillingstherma, after the disintegration of the Witch King's pavilion. Maybe. I don't truly understand it myself, but there is no doubt that millions of Laterans are being caught in a struggle between reality and illusion, and we need help. The violators of Nearari. A chance dissonance is often the beginning of an interesting variation. I concur with the doctor. However, if the calamity has engulfed all of Laterano, they are likely to enter the dream the moment they enter the city. That's why I came looking for you, and I brought my cello. As if you wouldn't.
There's nothing to clean up. Let's go.
One more. That was the one more. Series on child psychology. In the middle of the night, you knock a few books off the bookshelf. They open as you pick them up, and a report greets you from among the pages. You are reminded of the day you brought Vanini to doctors all across the city. Medical report. August Faber Central Hospital. Halo surgery. Patient suffers from a speech impediment, speaking with only great difficulty and with severe lexical deficiency. Patient also shows mild difficulties in reading and writing. Diagnosis is psychogenetic aphasia. Alright, so they're not mute, they just have a severe learning disability. Aside from medication, considering the family's particular circumstances, weekly empathy contact sessions at this hospital have been suggested. You couldn't rely on empathy to read the girl's mind, so at the doctor's suggestion, you brought Little Halo, Little Heart, a series of books about Sancta child psychology. You memorized every passage in those books, but when you saw her stuttering in front of you, the grim reality set in. Every sentence of these lousy books was based on a central premise. Both you and your child have big, bright halos on your head. But you don't have one. Not then, not now. What a shame. Those books were useless to you. You relive the anxiety and anger you felt at the time, ignoring the fact that you tore those books to shreds in a fit of rage long ago. Raisin cake. At night, you find a piece of cake in the refrigerator. After sating your hunger, you think back to how astonished you were the first time you had it. Every time they were done with a mission, that one squad would always come to your workshop for weapon maintenance, bringing with them some of that cake you adored. The Sanctus treated their patron firearms like their babies, hoping you would clean them with utmost gentleness. The Liberi, on the other hand, would always ask you questions with a straight face. Can you make the grenade launcher fire further? Can you improve the rifling? Changing out the attachments is a pain in the ass. Anything you can do to fix it. At least until you told her you could. But first, she had to be okay with swapping out a transmitter, since the current one was barely more than a worn-out lump of iron. As straight-faced as ever, she said, then swap it already. You sighed with the relief that this wasn't a patron firearm. If it were, the owner would have been going mad with worry over the damage. She turned back to her friends, one of them sobbing her eyes out over having to change her gun's sights. Soon after, the corners of the Liberi's mouth turned upwards, and she said rather happily, "Good thing I don't have a guardian gun." You are enraptured by the taste, forgetting that these racing cakes were never actually that tasty, since there was always pranksters embedding odd-tasting candy in them. Piametta's revenge.
A pleasure to meet you, Doctor. You know me as Fia's grandpa. If you've heard of the Sancta Mix Apparato, I really regret letting Fia fill out my recommendation form.
Piametta finally got her revenge. Yeah. Someone else has a ridiculous nickname. Okay. Get his module. My gosh. Calm down. I also forgot about this guy. Who, like, this isn't even a character. This is just the doctor, question mark? How does this work? The first time blocking an enemy, it's a vanguard, which is interesting. First time blocking an enemy, gain 2 DP and puts the blocked enemy to sleep. Okay. Sancta Mix Apparato. Sentry defenders, which I think are pretty cool. The next attack hits 3 times after dealing 100% attack as physical damage, or each dealing, and replenishes 1 bullet to another nearby Laterano operator with an ammo type skill active. Laterano is the ammo characters, huh? Laterano and Ray, and I guess we should have. Maybe 1 or 2 others. I guess Jessica has ammo as well. New talent. Whenever Sancta deals damage, he gains plus 20 defense and 2 ASPD for 10 seconds, up to 3 times. That's not that crazy. $60 defense and 6 ASPD is not a lot. New skill, 8-arm chainsaw guy. Nice. Attack plus 60, defense plus 50. And if lethal damage is received while skill is active, immediately consumes 30 ammo to resist the damage. Huh. Interesting. And his last skill, can't look at it. Pre-retirement preaching. On skill activation, replenishes 2 bullets to all other Laterano operators. Attack range expands, HP plus 20%, attack plus 110, defense plus 20. Stops attacking when attacked, immediately counterattacks up to 3 enemies within attack range at once. Minimum interval between counterattacks is 100% of actual attack interval. Interesting. So a lot of ammo support. What's his module do? Oh, he's got the reveal invisible enemies module. And it boosts his buff, so he gets 40 and plus 4 instead of 20 plus 2. And also at level 3, whenever it goes to plus 50 plus 5. And once at max stat, all Laterano operators on the field have their ASPD decrease. What? Huh? Once at max stack, all Laterano operators on the field cannot have their ASPD decrease below their starting ASPD. That's very niche. That's extremely niche. That would be what? That would be either used for some enemy that reduces attack speed, which I don't know off the top of my head. Or I guess Exia reducing another Laterano's attack speed. But does that counteract her ability to steal the attack speed? I don't know. Very niche. Well, finishes up tomorrow. There's actually 2 like ending interludes, so there's a lot to read. It's been pretty interesting so far. Not at all what I expected the event to be, but it's been interesting. But for now, thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.